The following episode describes graphic details of violence, murder, and gang activity. Listener discretion is advised. It's just after midnight Saturday, June 2nd, 2018. A person walking south along Reservoir Road in Holden notices something along the tree line on the side of the road. As the person moves closer to get a better look, he finds 22-year-old Lenny Valerio lying on the ground. Lenny had been shot multiple times. Blood stains the gravel beneath him. The passerby called police right away, and Lenny was soon taken by ambulance to a nearby hospital where he was pronounced dead. More than 5 years later, Lenny's murder remains unsolved. Welcome back to Unsolved Worcester. I'm your host, Dan Yeager. Today's episode explores the unsolved murder of Lenny Valerio, a 22-year-old man from Worcester. He was found dead on Reservoir Road in nearby Holden in early June 2018. Lenny had ties to a pair of Worcester gangs, and police believe the young man's death is a result of those connections and his involvement in criminal activity in the city. Unsolved Worcester takes a deep dive every Tuesday into the unsolved murders and missing persons cases under investigation by the Worcester Police Department's Detective Unit and the Massachusetts State Police. Our goal is to remind residents of the Worcester area, both past and present, that there are dozens of unsolved homicides and missing persons cases that need resolution. We hope we can be the spark needed to solve a case. Be sure to visit Unsolved Worcester on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and listen to all episodes for free at unsolvedworcester.com and on your favorite podcast streaming platforms. Check out the video for this episode with exclusive aerial views and more on the Unsolved Worcester YouTube page. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Lenny Valerio lived in a first-floor apartment on Acton Street on the south side of Worcester's Grafton Hill neighborhood. The multi-family three-decker home is just a few blocks away from Worcester's Rice Square intersection, but more than 10 miles away from where Lenny's body was found on Reservoir Street in Holden. Just 22 when he died, Lenny's life caught up to him quickly. According to multiple reports, Lenny had ties to a pair of local gangs, and in the few years leading up to his death, Lenny had a long list of arrests, including for assault and battery on a police officer, assault with a deadly weapon, drug possession, gun possession, trespassing, resisting arrest, disorderly conduct, and more. Reports indicate Lenny was affiliated with members of the East Side Gang at Plumley Village and ran with the MOB, or Money Over Bitches gang, in Worcester. Lenny was born in Worcester. He attended Worcester East Middle and North High School, and for a time the Central MA Academy, CMA, on Higgins Street in Worcester, a therapeutic day school offering a structural education program and clinical services for students in grades 7 through 12. The fund was started on GoFundMe by Lenny's family to help raise money for Lenny's funeral cost. 70 people donated nearly $6,000 to the cause. Unfortunately, Lenny's wake services at Graham Putnam and Mahoney Funeral Home on Main Street in Worcester weren't without issues. According to Worcester police, Lenny's wake was attended by several known local gang members, and police officers stopped an SUV they saw circling the funeral home. 3 men were arrested after police found a loaded semi-automatic handgun in the vehicle, along with more than $2,000 in cash, a bag of crack cocaine, 9 30-milligram oxycodone pills, and 14 ounces of marijuana. When he died, Lenny left behind his parents, a brother, 4 sisters, a niece, and lots of other family and friends. Lenny's family described him as smart, funny, charming, open-hearted, and a young man with an infectious smile and a love of sports and video games. Lenny's obituary reads, "When Lennon was surrounded by those he cared about, a good time was had by all. He will truly be missed by all who were fortunate enough to have known him." At the time of this podcast, Lenny's Facebook page is still active, and his page is filled with tributes to him from his friends and family. It's likely that Lenny Valerio was shot and killed somewhere else before his body was found on Reservoir Street in Holden in June 2018. It's possible he was killed in Worcester and dumped in Holden. Authorities believe that Lenny was killed as a result of some kind of gang retaliation. For the 3rd time on Unsolved Worcester, and the 2nd time this season, we're highlighting an unsolved murder that's featured on the Massachusetts State Police Unresolved Cases Playing Cards deck. Lenny's murder is one of 52 victims of unresolved homicides and missing persons cases featured in the deck of cards, which were distributed to state prison inmates in February 2022 with the hopes they may have and share information about the crimes. Lenny is the 10 of spades in the deck. In episode 1 of this season, we shared the story of Jose Ortiz, who was gunned down in the middle of Elliott Street in Worcester on August 24th, 2016. Linieda Oliveira, one of 5 victims of the suspect Maine South woodsman serial killer, is also in the deck of cards. We shared her story at the end of season 5. We will also feature a 3rd victim of an unresolved homicide in the state police deck of cards in this season's final episode, Molly Bish. To submit information regarding these unresolved cases, call toll-free 1-855-MA-SOLVE, 1-855, the letter MASOLVE. Thank you for listening. I'm Dan Yeager. Don't miss another episode. Click the notification button to get alerts when new episodes of Unsolved Worcester drop. If you enjoyed listening to this episode, please consider clicking the like button for us. And if you subscribe, the next episode will show up in your feed. Click the bell on the right and select all, and you'll get a notification of when the next episode is ready. If you have any thoughts you'd like to share, please leave them in the comments below. We do read them all and respond to as many as we can. Anyone with information about the unsolved murder of Lenny Valerio are asked to contact the Massachusetts State Police Barracks in Holden at 508-829-8410. Come back next time for episode 9 of Unsolved Worcester Season 6 and the missing person case of 35-year-old Brittany T. Brittany was last seen leaving her Main Street residence in Brookfield on January 10th, 2023. Special thanks to the Worcester Public Library, the Worcester Police Department, the City of Worcester, and our sponsors for making this possible. Information on Lenny Valerio's murder was gathered from multiple resources, including the Worcester County District Attorney's Office, Massachusetts State Police, Worcester Police, the Worcester Telegram and Gazette, Mass Live, and more. The Unsolved Worcester podcast music is provided by Tom Lebelzik of the Worcester Jazz Collective. This episode is written and produced by Pat Sargent. Drone footage provided by Ron Scott at Chasing Daylight Studio. Videography and editing by Colin Turner. This program is supported in part by a grant from the Worcester Arts Council and the National Endowment for the Arts. To find out more about how National Endowment for the Arts grants impact individuals and communities, visit www.arts.gov.